So I posted a video a couple of weeks ago about how there's a mistake in the HBO logo, and if you look closely, the H and B characters don't line up in the official vector version from the HBO website. Now, I took a lot of flack in the comments. Most people were like, nobody cares. Other people were saying, it's not actually a mistake, it's due to optical alignment. And the H is overshot with the O to look more cohesive. And then people started calling me out saying, I'm full of myself. So now I'm second guessing myself and thinking, shit, was this H and B misalignment thing intentional? And is this a typography trick that I've never heard about? And then I got a message on my Instagram page from a guy called Gerard. Someone sent me your HBO post. I designed that version in the 1970s. Email me. So, oh shit, I'm about to get a telling off here. I've basically just called the HBO logo a sloppy mess, and now the frigging guy who designed the original, Gerard Huerta, wants to speak to me. So very nervously, I emailed him back saying I'd love to chat, and hopefully you weren't offended by my video. And then I waited sheepishly for a reply, and a few hours later, I got an email back with an attachment. And when I opened it up, I could not believe what I was looking at. He sent me the original trace of the HBO logo designed on tissue paper. So back in the 70s, to make a logo, you would start with a really accurate pencil drawing on tissue paper, put a piece of vellum or transparent plastic over the top, tape it down, and then very carefully trace over this with a rapidograph ink pen. And this was then photographed to create a printing plate or a film negative, and that way the logo could be reproduced. Now, if you look very carefully at this tissue, you'll notice not an error in sight. The H perfectly lines up with the B. There are also some major differences, and when I tried to overlay the SVG from the website, and I really tried, it just doesn't go. And look, I'll just let Gerard tell you.
My name's Gerard Huerta. The transition from the straight line of the B to the curve is a bad drawing of that.
He's talking about the bone effect, where when a straight line goes into a curve, you have to smooth off that transition, otherwise it can look like a bit of a kink. Also on the original, the overshoot is perfectly equal on the top and the bottom of the O. Not so on the new one. And the bottom bowl on the original B sticks out just a little further, as it should, and on the new one, nope. And so Gerard very kindly agreed to give up his time for an interview over on my community, and he's a lovely human being with an illustrious career. I mean, go and check out his work. He did the friggin' AC/DC logo, for God's sake. But yes, somewhere along the way, they vectorized the original HBO logo for the digital world, and they made some mistakes. Now look, in our industry, graphic designers are sometimes labeled as a little bit pretentious. Designers are very protective of their craft, especially type designers, and we care about mistakes like this. And look, on an old TV, when this came up on the screen at the start of a show with the shh, oh, you probably wouldn't have noticed, but
in print, it matters because it's very high resolution in print. We see those mistakes.
So yeah, maybe I care about things like this, and maybe I am full of myself for calling out a mistake in the logo, or maybe calling a mistake optical alignment makes you the pretentious one, and maybe those haters owe me an apology. I don't know.